And so, with great apologies to Lynn Allen, I'm going to take you through how you can use Autocad to kind of get a running start on doing stuff in Inventor. So I started with a decimal template here. Architectural template. So my units here, and I'm once again forgetting to turn on the keyboard, but my units here are going to be inches, and when I make the blocks they'll be the same, so I'm kind of going to get rid of that. I'm going to draft on layer 0 because I'm making blocks, and that's on what you make your blocks unless you got a better reason to do it. So I'm kind of delete this out here. Hopefully that'll work eventually. Okay, I'm going to draft on layer 0, and let me start with the fact that I'm going to kind of be drafting something that's going to be, I'll make mine a 16-foot span, so I'm going to just kind of make a nice easy box here on one side. I'll make that box, I don't know, from here I'll make it 20 foot by 20 foot tall, and you notice here I said 20 by 20 inches, and so I can go ahead and grab a cross here, type stretch, S-T-R-E-T-C-H, grab my base point, and then I guess I want to go at, well, that was 20 by 20 inches, so I want to go at 18 feet 2 inches at a 90 degrees, and there I think is what that is. So I'm going to copy this. That's 20 by 20, I hope. Copy that from the end point here to the end point there to the end point there, and get rid of the middle. So that's kind of give you a general sense on what I'm spanning, and in the end we're going to kind of play around with the depth as we go here. So I'm going to do that 220 foot. I guess I said, I don't know, 8 foot long, and I guess mine can be a little different. I remember we were going to make these beams 8 inches, so I can go here, and however I care to, I can go with a line from shift right click near to that and go perpendicular to there. I'm going to offset, we said that was going to be 8 inches, so I'm going to offset 8 because my units are inches there, and I've got my general piece. I'm going to do a line from the midpoint of here to the midpoint of there, and in the end you're going to see I'm going to want to leave a 1/4 inch, so I'm going to offset 1/8 inches here and an 1/8 inch there, and get rid of that. Zooming out, break here to here, break from there to there. I'm zooming in now. Fillet, radius 0, there, 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 and there. And so I've kind of got at least my general basis, and I'm going to go ahead and do another 1/8 out there. When we remember sometimes that we have to explode our little pieces out here. I'm going to explode this. I'm going to explode this. I'm going to give it an 1/8, offset 1/8. All kinds of different ways. Offset an 1/8. And right in there, you can once again do fillet. Radius 0, grab what you want to keep. Fillet radius 0, grab what you want to keep. And we've discovered if ortho is on, sometimes that doesn't work, but it seemed to have no problem there. I'm zooming out and back in. Fillet radius 0, grab what you want to keep. Grab what you want to keep. And now we essentially have 4 pieces here. And on a regular and recurrent basis, you might want to do a p-edit. Grab something. P-edit. Grab, yes, join, cross. I'm going to put all those things together in one piece. And do the same again. P-edit. Yes, join, cross. put all those things. So now you got two pieces there. And for ease's sake, I'm going to go ahead and right away I'm going to copy this. Or better than that, let me use the tools. I'm going to grab that, left click, spacebar, say at 8-1/8 angle 90 degrees. And I forgot to do a copy, so I'm going to just do it back now. Left click, spacebar, C for copy, at 8-1/8 angle 270. And I have now those kind of pieces there. In the end, one thing I'm going to put in here is a mirror line. But for now, I can just do the same, copy this piece from the end point there to the end point there. And I have, at some way, shape, or form, I have this idea of a couple of pieces which I'm now going to turn up at some angle. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these and move them out. I'm going to take this one, left click, spacebar, spacebar, rotate in a positive degree, angle of positive 30 degrees. So I'm going to turn it 30 degrees, and it looks like something like that. And I will move this one down from the end point perpendicular, moving it down straight down into that, and then move it back up 1/8. Move that, click at 1/8 angle 90 degrees. And in the end, what I really would like to have had here was a mirror line, so I can now take a line from shift right click, midpoint between 2 points, from the shift right click midpoint here to the shift right click midpoint there. And I can turn on my F8 and get in there, zooming in and out, get my kind of center line, my mirror line, because in all reality I should have been drafting one side of this only. So I'm going to take a mirror here, grab my object, specify the first point on the mirror line, shift right click, end point, from the end point there, F8, coming down, yes. I forgot, of course, once again, let me just do the mirror again, left click, spacebar, 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 C for copy, B for base point, shift right click the end point here, shift right click the end point there, or better yet, the F8 key, F8, and hopefully that actually did the mirror. It didn't, so I'm going to try it one more time. Mirror. Sorry, we're going to left click, spacebar, 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 C for copy, B for base point, shift right click the end point of there, F8, and hit escape, and we've got our kind of layout there. And we're going to go ahead, in the end we should really keep that on a center line. That should be on a center line layer so we don't get mixed up. But we have, in effect now, at least for me, we're going to play around with these lengths and dimensions later. I've got some sort of kind of design here that we're going to need to put a gusset plate over. So let me finally put in the gusset plate before we go and start making the blocks. We have these things drafted on layer 0. They don't necessarily need to be closed polylines. They should not necessarily be in 3D when you start using sketch blocks, but we're going to want to eventually put a couple of points here. So my gusset plate, I'm going to go ahead and offset maybe a foot each way. Well, not a foot. That's all right. I'm going to offset 1 foot. And that does it for me. And I'm going to extend, screw that, click down here to here. And in all reality, I'm just going to go ahead and do my line from the intersection there. Shift right click to the intersection there. And trim through that. Click, click. Sorry, undo. Zoom window. Fillet radius 0. Click, click. click, click, and then line from the end point here to the end point there. Now, that's a good basic design. I've got now really 3 parts, the gusset plate and each of the 2 side pieces, and that's really each of those. We've got 3 parts, 2 of which are going to be flipped and mirrored. Thanks for listening. We'll make the blocks next.